I know, right?
Action.
Hey, y'all. We back, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop 205 podcast. I'm here. I'm Larry the Maestro, and the other brothers are with me. They can introduce themselves.
I am me.
He said, I am me and
Mr. Esquire.
You got
Esquire.
the wrong finger. It got to be left. It's the left.
Oh, yeah.
Left hand. Left hand. Left hand. Left hand.
Mr. Esquire. I'll get it right eventually.
Right.
I
We
gotta
glad.
watch this next week to make sure I do it right again. I forget.
I know, right? Yeah. We glad to see everybody. We're here with another episode. We hear this phrase all the time. I'm ready to. It's a new year. I'm ready to go to the next level. I'm ready. Sounds good, right? Well, I heard a interesting conversation. They said you don't really go to the next level. You really grow to the next level. So I want to talk about growing up and what does that really mean? So we can go in simple terms and just talk about what is growth.
Man, so I'm gonna say it like this. Cause I love when you brought it up because I was like, "Oh, I got a perfect one for that one." I always go off of my experience because that's all I know.
Right.
But like past few years, I say maybe from 2005 all the way to 2020, I was stuck in a rut, and this is gonna go on to the next one, the next show. Hope y'all tune in. But I was stuck in a rut where I didn't have the ability to move up. All I was chasing was the dollar. And basically, in the pursuit of that dollar, I got what I wanted, and I got more, and I got more, and I got more. But it never was a fulfilling feeling that I had of success. What I realized after I took a big hard reset was that those years that I went through all of that, in the years that I chased a dollar, I learned more about myself, about life, about how you should operate in a business than I probably would have ever learned at a 4-year university. Like, just be honest. Like, I learned so much more. And that's what I had to figure was, okay, I did everything this way. Let me grow up. As I'm saying, growing to the next level. Let me grow up. Let me move to the next level. Take everything that I learned. Now I got to add more to it. My boy Eric Thomas says, how do you, stay motivated? You always present new challenges to yourself. You always give yourself another challenge to overcome. And you start off small and you grow bigger. So that's basically growing to the next level, in my opinion. You challenging yourself, you pushing yourself forward, you take your comprehensive learning and you add new skills to that learning.
That's good. Okay, you giving it.
Yeah.
In its simple term, growth. Go ahead, Mr. Esquire. Yeah.
No, I mean growth. I mean that's beautiful. I mean that's hard to come behind. To be perfectly honest with you, what I'll say is this: for me, growth is embracing the maturity of the lessons you've learned. I'm not gonna cook a whole meal like my man right here, like Fox. I mean, he gave y'all. I give y'all a dessert.
You're a little sermonette. I mean, right?
Yeah. I'm just gonna put a little. Hey, what my man saying? I'm just gonna sprinkle it a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it's already there. It don't need a lot.
Nah.
So. I just, to me, for me, growth is that simple. It's embracing your lessons that you learn and being mature enough to learn those lessons.
Okay, I'll come back in and stir the pot. Growing where you want to go, or growing where you say you want to go. What ways we can do that? One of my bullets is you have to do the work. Growth just don't happen.
Yeah.
You can be a farmer that plant a seed. They just don't stick a seed in the ground and walk away. They actually have to do the work. There are things you just have to do. The you that you may need to be and want to grow on the next level, you may have to change physically. You're a trainer, emotionally, mentally, psychologically. Like, there's the things people just skip over. They just think, if I just think real hard, like, no, you actually have to do some stretching. You have to be able to confront some challenges and actually like do the work.
You gotta do the work.
Success just doesn't happen.
Yeah. I think we all grow regardless, and this is going to be interesting. The question is, are you a flower or are you a weed? You know.
Oh no.
Again, that is relative.
I mean, you know,
real.
A weed don't need nothing but a little sunlight and water, and it's gonna, but it has no use. Like that's the thing about a weed, right? It'll grow, but it really doesn't. It doesn't have any use. And at the end of the day, when it becomes annoying, we pluck it, we pull it, we get rid of it. Mm-hmm. Especially when it gets overgrown, right? Now, flowers are intentional, you know, but they also take more care. Well, that's what intentional is, right? Mm-hmm. But I mean, you have to be more careful when you're trying to grow a flower. And I'm telling y'all from experience, because I'm sitting there looking at it, and like I killed a flower in my little garden, and I was just like, wow, that's crazy. Like I thought all I had to do was put some, you know, I was like, but it rained. But the reality is, you gotta have a little sticks to, you know, make sure it's going on it right. And you have to go out there and get the weeds.
You might have drowned it. Yeah.
So I mean, it's an intentional act. So both of them grew, but only one of them grew in a way that I wanted it to grow. Yeah. So to me, growth has to, you know, now we talking about personal. To me, it has to involve an intentional act.
That you saying a whole lot. Intentional act, specific. Yeah.
Now, I'll say in my life experience on this situation, on this topic, it's very intentional. It's extremely intentional to grow. Most people don't realize that. Most people feel like, you know, I go to work every day, I work hard, work my 8 hours, I don't get a boss problems, you know. I'll probably eventually move up one of these days, but right now I'm good where I'm at. And that's cool. If you good where you at, you make good enough money, you don't have to move any further, you know, that's fine. But I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not that guy. You know, me, I want everything that life has to offer, just like my guys with me. They want everything that life has to offer. And it was funny because I saw a YouTube short, a TikTok, I don't know what it was. It was YouTube on YouTube short, though. It was YouTube short. And basically, this one girl asked, why do black people want to be above average? Why do black people have such a problem with being average? And my thing is this: why don't you have a problem with being average? And I'm not saying everybody's built to be above average. I'm not saying everybody's built to be 1%. It takes a completely different mindset to do that. And she finally did touch on that point that you do have to have a different mindset. You know, instead of coming home and grabbing a beer now, I come home and I open my laptop back up and I get right back to work. Instead of getting up in the morning and, you know, trying to squeeze in a game of Call of Duty or, you know, always going straight to the gym or just drinking my coffee and listening to the news, I read a book, you know, in the quiet, you know, something like that. And those type of changes, I don't know what it's going to take for you to grow. I don't know. Everybody's ingredients is different. Everybody needs something different. Every plant can't grow under the same circumstances. So, you know, I don't know what's going to take for you to grow, but I just know the first thing you need to realize is, what am I doing now? What can I do different to change my trajectory and where I'm going in life?
That's good. Yeah. Success is definitely intentional. And my next point is like, you have to count up the cost of this growth. Yeah. Basically, what you talking about? What are you willing to sacrifice?
Ooh, I'm about to be messy. You said what now?
Yeah,
Maestro. Because he know what I'm about to say. That's why he said. You said what now?
What are you?
Repeat what you said.
I said count up the cost, like count up all the costs, and what are you willing to sacrifice to grow to the next level? Because you say you want to grow. You say you want to grow.
So I was talking to somebody a couple of weeks ago. And they told me very specifically, you know, if you count the cost, you're doing the wrong thing. You're doing it wrong. I ain't gonna mix his words up, but he can say it for himself because that's why he laughed. You know what I'm talking about? So call it. I say I'm being messy right now, but like, you know, I just want to, you know what I'm saying, stir up conversation really and truly. I'm not.
No. It's okay. So here's the thing.
Okay.
If you counting the cost, and I got to go back to that space, you know,
put me in context.
Counting the cost sometimes has the effect of putting us in a state of paralysis.
Ooh.
because you don't make a decision because you're so busy trying to count the cost. You're so busy trying to figure out everything and make it perfect that you never actually grow or make a move because you didn't sat there and counted the cost.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. I'm fine. Okay.
But now I think what you really want to focus on in that scenario is what are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
Because truthfully, when you count the cost, quote unquote, the sum should be the same. Everything.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you should be like, man, I'm going. Hey, it's like being at a poker table, right? I'm going all in because guess what? If I do this, I'm gonna win the game.
Pushing them.
That's the only way you can. I mean, that's how you win. And like you can win the game. Literally,
you need everything.
I'm going all in. Now that doesn't mean you're reckless, because I mean, here's the deal: if you ain't got no business playing that game, that's on you.
Right.
And if you haven't been studying the board, that's on you. So that's where, you know, to me, you don't have to do so much counting the costs when you do the preparation, because when that opportunity is there, you're gonna be like, "This is it. I'm going all in," because this is the moment I've been waiting on. And that's what you really should be counting, as opposed to counting like, well, if I do this, it's gonna be this. If I do. And I ain't talking about budgets either, people, by the way. Those of y'all listening, all my finance people or whatever, you know, I love y'all.
You gotta count the cost.
You know, I ain't telling you to go out there and put all your money on crypto.
I need to pay taxes.
All right. That's your thing. That's your thing. No, this is not an endorsement of any particular financial vehicle. But what I will say is this: when you get to those life-changing moments, if you sit there counting the cost, you may miss the moment.
Oh, okay.
Because you're doing this, trying to figure out. Meanwhile, everybody else is getting on board. You said in the beginning, you don't go to your next level, you grow to your next level. That's got to be part of your growth, is knowing how to recognize the moment.
That's so good. Yeah, but that's part of the mental, emotional, the psychological changes your mind. You have to go through. Yeah. Who you need to be is not who you are today.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to change into another person.
But if you've never spent time thinking about who you want to be, you won't recognize the moment that comes along.
Okay, thank y'all for tuning in.
Most of us are too afraid to admit that we're not who we want to be.
You trying to hurt folks' feelings, man?
Man, I'm hurting my own feelings.
Oh, that's good. You stepping on some toes. Ouch.
Because see, I mean, my thing is, like, when the last time you looked up and said, "I'm good, but I ain't great"?
People ain't, because people try to go easy on themselves. Yeah,
it's people. It's real. I mean,
people view it like this, and this is just. I mean, I know it's relative to everybody, but I feel like it's general. People look at it like this, and this is something that I had to learn at 20. That just to get me through my 20s. Financially, I didn't have all the money that I wanted. I was living with my now wife. And basically we said, is the food in the refrigerator? Are the lights got on? Is the water running? Do we have clothes to wear? We're good. But now we got kids. So it's more like, is there food in the refrigerator so the kids can eat? If the lights on because the kids need to be had light. We need to take baths. We need to, it's a completely different level that I'm on now. So if I take that same mentality of, are the bills paid? Is food in the refrigerator? I'm probably not going to live. I'm probably not going to be able to provide the life for my kids that I really want to. Like y'all said, you got to know who you want to be. I know I'm not going to be the greatest dad ever created, but I want to be a good dad just like mine was. I want to be, a great role model like mine was. Like my parents were. They got up every day, went to work extra days, worked extra jobs, did extra stuff to make sure me and my sister had. And, while they were growing in their careers and moving up, we got to see that. And that's one of the biggest things for me is I know right now I'm not in a place where I'm working class, but I know I'm going to move up as I get older. I'm moving forward and I want my child to see me growing up. Even though I'm 39, growing further, getting further in life. You know what I'm saying? I don't want ever to take for granted what I have. what he had, should I say?
Mm-hmm. That's good, Mr. Esco. You got to go back to some of that. Yeah.
I mean,
because most people don't slow.
It gets into okay. So for instance, he said, "I'll never be the best dad," right?
Mm-hmm.
That's because you'll never stop growing. So you can't.
That's what you mean. I know you don't
technically, you can't touch best because you always looking to improve. However, it's kind of like that video game where like you're getting better at every level, but you still have to struggle because you're on a new level. So the stuff that you used to do, you don't do anymore because you're like, man, I'm past that level. That's that growth process, right? But you can't complete the level you on. That's why you have to grow to the next level. You can't just, if we all just went to the next level, we wouldn't be ready ever. Because if that would mean you have access, but you don't have experience.
Yeah.
What we have to do is we have to take the experience to get the access. You know, we have to be qualified for that position. You know what I mean? It's no different than jobs or other things. Like, I mean, hell, even in our personal lives, right? We graduate people through our personal lives. You know, I remember when, you know, in my 20s, every girl was like, man, she good for the date. But I never took a girl serious enough for marriage in my 20s. Like, I just wasn't going to do it.
Take her home tomorrow.
And the one I did, I didn't stay with. So, I mean, it's like, okay, I didn't follow my plan. I said, don't get married in your 20s. Met a girl in my 20s. We dated for about 2 years. And I'm like, well, 2 years, we might as well get married. Didn't work out, did it? That wasn't a smart idea. Yeah. Because I knew I wasn't ready for that level. I didn't have the experience for that level. I didn't have the experience dating for that level. Because every relationship I had before that, I had an end date from the beginning. I came into them like, this is good for the summer. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I used to do them like milk, you know, be like, man. So I'm like, all right, you know. So my thing is like, you gotta always, you know, and this is again, you're talking to the 40 plus, right? You're talking to the 45-year-old. The 45-year-old me can look back on all that stuff and say, man, look, you can grow into it, but there's certain things I just won't do now, and you know, I'm very big on. Like, I'd rather go ahead and get the lesson. I'd rather try, fail. Like I had, okay, a great example. Let me start over just a little bit. Let me give y'all something that somebody told me. Okay. He said, you cannot call yourself an entrepreneur until you have failed at a business.
I've heard that.
Because, and the way he broke it down was, he said, look, if you open up a business and it's a success, that could be a lot of things, including luck for that matter, right? He's like, it's kind of like that record artist that had that one hot record. It's like, okay.
And the second one.
But that second one was trash, and they never had another record album that made any sense. Yeah. That's why we don't call those people Hall of Fame artists. Because they never got to a second album or a second song that we thought was good enough, right? The reason you become an entrepreneur after you fail is because is it in you to try again? Is it in you to grind out from the bottom back to the top?
Are you willing to do the work and grow and stretch and challenge and stick to it and fight? Grind. You had grind on your shirt. Yeah. That's deep. That's deep. You know, you push me to my third point. You have to challenge your excuses in order to grow. You gotta let them excuses go.
I like that.
You can always can justify anything. Yeah, I'm black. Black man in America.
I like that.
I came from a single parent.
And that's the biggest thing, man. Allowing your social circumstance to dictate your personal goals. I can't move up because I'm black. You can always move up. May not be there, but you can always move up. You know, that's the biggest thing. Like it frustrates me the most about this new generation because that's what they focus on. Oh, they don't like me because I'm black. They don't like me because my you know, I don't like me because I'm a man. They don't like me because I'm a woman. Nobody cares. Like some people may care. There are some people that have those biases. They feel like a woman can't, you know, drive an oil rig, or they feel like a man shouldn't be a nurse. You know, at the end of the day, man, if you can do the job, do the job. We got to stop putting that social economic construct in our head. You know, basically basically saying that just because you a certain way, you look a certain, or you sound a certain way, or you built a certain way, that you shouldn't be doing it. If you don't go try, you'll never know. You know, but
that's good. What must go for you to grow? What
yes.
What must go so you can grow? Is that a friend?
Y'all tell me what left for y'all? What y'all have to leave behind for y'all to grow?
For me, in mental lies, you tell yourself, "I'll never be good enough." Or, you can't do that. You don't need to do all of that now. Yeah, settling. Yeah. You just said it's in the refrigerator, clothes in the wash. Ain't that enough?
No, I mean, I had to do I had two things I had to do. I had to do that, and the word I gave it was I had to let go of my mediocre mentality. You know, and that's a problem I think we have in the Black community as well, is we embrace mediocre mentality, right? Like, well, I'm good. I got food in the fridge. Yes, you have met the minimum requirement. You know,
refrigerator.
And like, I mean, that's literally what you did, right? And it's kind of like this. My man said, he was like, you might be tall enough for this ride, but that don't mean you're gonna enjoy it. You want to enjoy it, you need to be a certain height, weight, and you need to understand what you're about to go through. Otherwise, you're just gonna be strapped in scared. So
I like that.
Let go of that mediocre mentality is very important. And number two, for me, is I had to embrace the fact that I did need help. I can't do everything by myself.
That's so good.
You know, now what Fox always talks about, man, we met in the gym, right? But what he don't know is I was in there, I don't know, maybe no, but I was in there probably a year by myself, not getting many gains. And probably if God don't send you in that gym, I'm probably not in the gym today, because I would have gotten to a point where I said, well, I ain't getting nothing out of it. Why keep doing it?
Yeah, me going by my business. Yeah.
But I gave him whatever it was, 12 weeks, whatever we did. And I saw some improvement and I went, bet. I like this. So, you know, that's something I've had to continuously remind myself that, you know, as a man, yes, we always want to say we control our fate, and we do, but it doesn't mean you do it alone. You know, I mean, you definitely need help, you know what I mean? And you learning how to embrace help.
Oh, learn how to embrace help.
Yep.
You gotta you don't fight to help? You mean I'm trying?
I ain't gonna even say I don't fight to help, but I've learned how to apologize better.
Okay, so that's very honest. Okay, that is important.
I ain't gonna tell you that. I ain't gonna tell that lie. You know what I'm saying? I might be like, yo, my bad, man. I should have listened, man. My bad. You know, hey,
I was just trying to help. I'm trying to warn you. You did it anyway. Yeah. Ooh. That's good, y'all. Yeah. Any final thought? Like for me, growth don't happen. It just don't happen. It's intentional. You have to and be able to measure. You know, be able to measure it. But be ready for it. And or say, I'm not ready to grow. I'm not ready for it. I hate to call it too much work. I guess you just have to just be aware. Go ahead. For the stuff you say you want, or the stuff you say you want, the stuff you know. I'm ready for the next big thing in my life. Are you? You might not be ready. Can I handle $1 million? If somebody dropped $1 million in my account tonight, do I know how to manage $1 million? Come on now.
You'll never know what you're ready for until you get put in that situation, though. You know. True.
But I might waste this $1 million.
I just say, like, for me, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I don't know how to handle $1 million. I am not gonna lie. I'm not gonna act like I know.
Most people probably don't too. I'm just saying most people don't. Yeah.
If somebody dropped $1 million in my lap, I'm guaranteed I'm probably gonna end up blowing it. But the first thing I would do would be go somewhere, whether it be the internet or read a book, and say, how do I manage $1 million? And the first thing they're gonna say is get an account and
doing the
work.
That's growth.
That's doing the
Yeah.
work.
Oh yeah.
Man, I
And
know.
now you just taking it and holding on to it. Like, I don't want to do nothing. I'm scared. That ain't good either. That ain't the answer. either.
That ain't good.
That's the
Man,
baby
I
boomers
know
in
for me, my final thought, and I do mean it. I mean, this is it for me. Like, my final thought is this. I've hit a growth level to where I look at where I used to be. I'm comfortable moving off of that spot. But I also look at people and I'm trying to be more of a helpful person and saying, hey, man, I know where you at, or at least I have a reference point for where you're at. I don't want to ever be so conceited to tell somebody I know where you at, but I have a reference point to where you're at. If I can help you, let me know. Because by helping people, it allows me to accept help better.
That's good. That's a good self-awareness moment. Yeah. And it's okay. Help is not bad. Help don't mean you're weak.
Yeah, and don't be conceited. Like a lot of times people are like, well, they didn't want to take my help, man. So what? Just were you really trying to be helpful, or were you trying to feed your ego? But that's another topic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Grow where you want to go. Do the work. You don't grow to the next level. Yeah, you don't go to the next level. You grow to the next level. Until next time, man.
Chop Shop 205.